Hey everybody, it's George here at Vinyl Rescue. I'm going to do a video on how to pack a turntable for shipping. Now, I know there's many other videos out there. I've watched several of them. They're pretty good. I told the owner of this turntable that I have a little bit of OCD when it comes to packing a turntable because the last thing I want is to ship a turntable that is over 40 years old and it get damaged on the way there. Now, if it's not packed properly, you leave it susceptible to being damaged by the carrier. You can put fragile and whatever else on there. They're still going to toss it, shove it, kick it around a little bit, maybe. Maybe like they shouldn't. Maybe everybody there, uh, with whichever carrier you're doing it with, won't be as nice with it as most people. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do certain things. I don't have the platter nor the dust cover, but I'll show what I would do with packing those up because I've gotten pretty good success with getting turntables from either, uh, most of my good success has been through Goodwill, except for one last year. It came damaged and they gave me a refund on it. Another one from eBay, the dust cover was busted up pretty bad. I got a little bit of a refund on it, but uh, that's the way it goes when people don't pack them up properly. Even when they say, "Oh, I've shipped hundreds of these and I've never had a problem." Really? If there wasn't a problem, that dust cover wouldn't have been busted. But I already made a video on that. So I'm going to start with the small stuff. I have this cartridge here, this Ortofon 2M Blue. It's been, let me find the right. Hello. What to do with it? Must have put it in the wrong place. We'll just use another one here. Okay, there it is. I just want to tighten the screws down just a little bit. They do have metal uh, threaded ends, nuts here. So I just want to give them just a little bit more of a tweak because I don't want them getting uh, moved in shipment because I have this perfectly aligned with the Wally tractor from Wally Tools. So I have his lead wires on here and I got this all aligned and clean. So I'm going to put this in a bubble wrap bag. Get it to go down there. Come on. And then I'm going to wrap it up like this. Alright, so I'm going to go get my packing tape. Got everything else to pack with except the tape. Could use something else, but so I'm going to wrap this up in the bubble wrap here because and just tape it closed. Now I have the original box that the cart came in. This was a brand new cart. So I'm going to put in some of these styrofoam peanuts here because I want this to be all packed up good. Like I said, I have a little bit of OCD when it comes to packing up a turntable. I consider them precious cargo in a way. So I don't want this thing to get damaged in any way, shape, or form. So I figured if I pack it really well, sometimes I wish I had a bigger desk. Alright, so just want it to be nice and cushioned in there. I also have my grounding wire. Goes into the ground post on the back of the turntable, the banana plug, and then the fork spade end goes into your amp or preamp. All right. Now, I tend to hang on to stuff because if I know if I'm going to ship something. So I got this Amazon Prime bag, so this will be, and I've got a form here that I copied and pasted from my spreadsheet from that I track when I'm doing the Wally Tools measurements. So I thought I had a highlighter in here. Oh, there it is. So I just want to highlight what the anti-skate is. Now this is just some extra stuff that wouldn't normally be done by some people, but I'm doing it. So, got this all in there. Alright, so that is packed. Now, this will go in the box later. Normally, at this point, I would pack up the platter. This is the platter that goes for it. I would normally, you can either do like a good paper packing, or just 1 or 2 rounds of either thin bubble wrap, or maybe one of a good thick one. And you would put this, when you do your box, you're going to put a layer of padding in the bottom, either bubble wrap or some sort of packing peanuts, and then you would put this on there. Then you would put another layer on top of this. Then you put your main turntable body on top after it's been properly wrapped and packed. Because you want the platter on the bottom, a little bit of cushion underneath, a little bit on top, because you want it between. You want to do it in layers, and also do around. You want to make sure you get enough room around inside the box to put cushion all the way around. And I highly recommend, do not pack your dust cover on top. Especially, do not, if you do, you want to be, as it's up to you. If you do not put them in the hinges, because they will break off your plastic tabs in a heartbeat. It's how one of them came to me, and that's usually what happens is they get packed and shipped, and you put them in, and going down, and you got all that stress, and they just break off. So if you're going to pack your dust cover, make sure it's all filled up inside, and do not put them in the hinges. But normally, I pack them up, wrap them up really good, and I place it on top after there's a good layer here in the box. So, but I'm not going to do this platter because it's mine. So, what I'm going to do here is I want to do a wrap of some cling seal here, just on this part here. I just want to make sure no kind of debris or any kind of packing material gets inside the turntable, down inside. Last thing you want to do is, this isn't the best stuff to use, but I don't want to use my other stuff. So Yeah, I just don't want anything to get down inside where the greased up areas are at. So it doesn't have to be too exclusive here. I just want to make sure it's just covered. So not any other dirt or anything, packed material that may get loose. I don't want it to get down inside there. So that's all we'll see of that. So, all right, I did find a twist tie. I don't want to tape up everything, but I want to. All right, so I'll take the counterweight off here. Here we go. All right, we're on a roll here. So, counterweight's counterweight, so we're just going to give it a little bit of paper wrap here. Yeah, probably going overboard on this tube, but that's okay. We'll just, like I said, I just want to make sure everything is going to get there safe and sound and undamaged. Can't emphasize that enough. So let's use up the rest of these crazy things. Don't need a whole lot of tape, just enough to get it to stay shut. And that's right on here, counterweight. Alright, so now we got the counterweight packaged up. So now let's do the turntable. Let me get some stuff out here. Alright, I'm going to do just a couple touches of tape on this cling and seal here. Nothing too crazy. I just want to make sure it covers this area here. That's my main concern. I know some of you are going to say, you're going way overboard. I don't care what you think. I want to make sure this gets back to my customers safe and sound and not trashed and dirty and everything else inside. So, here we go. All right, now we're going to dig out some bubble wrap. All right, I'm going to wrap up the tone arm. Obviously a important thing here. So let's. Is this gonna? Yes, it will. So going to. I don't want to do this. Maybe we'll just do two different sections here. All right, let's see here. Just want to put enough padding around and underneath so it won't make any movement. Alright, so now do the back end back there. So let's cut off for the counterweights part where that counterweight goes on to the back of the tone arm. Alright, so okay, I'm just going to leave this sort of loosey-goosey here. Alright, so now let's find some decent bubble wrap here. I may have to go out and find some more. And new power cord here, so get this as small as possible. Alright, this is just an initial first wrap here. I'm going to go have to go get some more. Yeah, this turntable being made in 1981. April of 81. This turntable is currently 44 years old, fixing to hit 45. So, alright, I had to go find some more packing material. I got a whole bunch of boxes out in the garage of all the turntables I got in last year, so I want to try to put some extra cushion on here to make it sort of even it up with the tone arm a little bit. Alright, so I found some really good bubble wrap out in the garage. So let's, yeah, found some good stuff here. Alright. Not yet, not yet. So I'm gonna make it a little snug here. All right. You don't want any loose wrapping because that'll defeat the purpose there. And with this way, we got extra cushioning around the corners. Okay, got the ends there. Let's get the middle. Found it's easier just to lay it down on the tape and then pull it up and over rather than trying to hold it in place and tape it. Come on. Lay this down. Push it on here. Okay, I think we've got that part done. It's nice and cushioned. So, be back in a second as I get the box up here and get it prepped with some padding. Alright, here's the empty box. I had to vacuum out the shredded paper. It came with a bag of shredded paper, and although it will make good padding, unfortunately, unless you seal the end of the bag, it gets out. I had to, when I opened up the turntable, I was finding bits of paper confetti inside, so that doesn't really help too much. So, what I'm going to do is line the bottom here with some let's see how we want to do this here. I got plenty of bubble wrap, so he did have plenty of bubble wrap in the bottom. So I'm trying to shake out. I'm going to have to vacuum again later, that is. Oh man. All right. some over here. Maybe get a little bit more there. A little bit right there. Let's see. All right, so here's a turntable. So now we're going to have to find, got two more things to put in here. Okay, these are fairly well padded. Okay. Counterweight won't get hurt. It's this I'm worried about getting hurt. So now I think I'm going to use up what I got left here. All right, this is some of the packing that came with the turntable. So we're just going to make sure we just try to recycle everything. Probably put like another layer of bubble wrap right up here on top when I get done. What a mess on the floor. There we go. Trying to make sure everything is even. Alright, had to go out in the garage and get some more packing material. Just trying to feel around for any unevenness. I want to try to get somewhat even. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to cut this in two. little bit there. All right, so okay, that's better. Just a little bit there. Pull this the other way. Get more cushion out of it. Right there. All right, so I think I've got it all evened out best I can. Just a little bit there. All right, so now let's get this bad boy closed up. Knocking everything around here. So having to push down, so looking good here. I'm going to push this in a little bit, not too much. All right. Lesson learned. Do it long ways. Okay. Save that for later. All right, so I get this packed tightly. All right, that's it. Want to make sure nothing is loose. You know, you can shake it around and nothing is going banging around. You don't want it overly too tight, but you want everything snug where it's not going to move around, even if it gets pushed around, and hopefully you not get kicked too bad. So I'm just going to finish up the seal job on here, and then I got to go look see where I can get the best deal for my customer to get it sent back to, since he's flipping the bill on this. So, but anyway, this is how I pack a turntable. Like I said, it's 44 years old, almost 45. And if it gets trashed and beat up and damaged beyond all recognition, you can go out and try to find another one, but you know, it makes take one more out of the inventory that somebody can have. But this client intends to keeping this one for the long haul as a special setup for it. So anyway, if you like what you see here, please give me a like, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and comment if you like what you see here. If you don't, well, just move on to the next video. But this is how I do it, because I care very much for turntables, and I don't want it to get damaged on the way back. So anyway, as always, long live vinyl.